I love it. We have so much to discuss. How did this even come about? Well, some things are worth waiting for.
Can we see you as Natasha again?
I was home on the phone with Kevin Feige, and I think I was like, okay. I cried in the shower later.
The blockbuster landscape has officially descended into chaos because Marvel Studios appears to be breaking one of its biggest rules by bringing massive legacy characters back into the MCU and turning nostalgia into a major weapon. If the latest promotional material is any indication, the studio is following one simple strategy. Whenever there's an opportunity to explode the box office and completely shock audiences, Marvel seems willing to take it. The latest Avengers Doomsday material has already fueled massive speculation surrounding the reported return of Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, including a mysterious storyline involving the 1950s, a new household, and even a baby, potentially opening the door to timeline-changing consequences. And the surprises may not stop there. Behind-the-scenes rumors claim Robert Downey Jr. was given an unusually high level of creative freedom following his return to the franchise, while returning directors Joe and Anthony Russo may have been given enormous flexibility to revisit characters from across the MCU's history. But while Captain America's potential comeback has already sent social media into overdrive, even bigger rumors are now circulating, with unconfirmed reports suggesting that Scarlett Johansson could potentially return as Natasha Romanoff, better known as Black Widow. If that shocking comeback actually happens, it could create a massive emotional chain reaction rivaling even the return of Tony Stark as Doctor Doom. But how could Marvel bring Natasha back without destroying the impact of her original sacrifice? To understand how a twist this massive could work, we have to look at Marvel's multiverse strategy, where alternate timelines, variants, and unexpected realities have repeatedly created opportunities to bring back characters fans thought were gone forever. And if the studio is truly opening those doors again, Avengers, Doomsday could be the movie where absolutely nothing, and no character, is considered completely off the table.
Have dinner with a bunch of the Marvel folks last night.
When Marvel Studios sees an opportunity to unite legacy fans with modern multiverse storytelling, it has repeatedly shown that the rules of reality can become surprisingly flexible. We saw this clearly in Avengers Endgame, where time travel and alternate timelines allowed characters from different points in history to cross into the present, most notably when the 2014 version of Gamora arrived in the modern timeline despite the original Gamora's sacrifice on Vormir. Now, online speculation suggests Marvel could potentially use a similar multiversal loophole to bring Natasha Romanoff back without erasing the emotional impact of her original sacrifice. Instead, a different version of Natasha from an alternate timeline or universe could enter the story, possibly one shaped by the arrival of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. With the Russo brothers and other key creative figures reportedly exploring ways to connect different corners of Marvel's cinematic universe, the possibilities have become almost limitless, potentially bringing together the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Legacy Avengers in one massive multiversal conflict. And according to unconfirmed online rumors, Natasha's potential involvement could extend far beyond a simple cameo or nostalgic flashback. In a reality shattered by incursions, collapsing timelines, and a dangerous Tony Stark variant beneath the mask of Doctor Doom, an experienced Black Widow variant could become one of the key figures holding the fractured Avengers together. With different realities colliding and alternate versions of familiar heroes forced to fight side by side, Natasha's intelligence, tactical instincts, and history with the Avengers could dramatically change the team's strategy. Of course, Marvel has given fans no official confirmation of such a return, and major production rumors should be treated cautiously. Still, the growing speculation has created one intriguing possibility. If Avengers Doomsday truly embraces the multiverse without limits, then Natasha Romanoff may not be as far away from the MCU as fans once believed. Fans dissecting every frame of promotional footage and every reported detail from the production believe Marvel may be carefully building a sprawling story where the past, present, and alternate futures collide in one enormous confrontation. Whether a potential Black Widow variant arrives through a multiversal rift as a battle-hardened survivor from a destroyed reality or emerges from an unexplored chapter of Marvel history, the possibility alone has reignited fans' desire for answers. As the countdown toward these massive crossover events continues, one thing remains clear. Marvel Studios understands how powerful a surprise can be. And if the rumors ultimately prove true, Natasha Romanoff's return could become another reminder that in the MCU's multiverse, even the most definitive endings may not be completely final. The internet has already been thrown into a frenzy by speculation and alleged behind-the-scenes chatter claiming Marvel could be preparing one of the most unexpected comebacks in modern superhero cinema, with even major names such as Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds becoming part of the surrounding online conversation. According to unconfirmed rumors circulating across fan communities and entertainment circles, Scarlett Johansson could potentially be returning as Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, for one of Marvel's upcoming crossover events. When Avengers: Endgame arrived in 2019, audiences believed they had witnessed the permanent, emotional farewells of both Tony Stark and Natasha on the cliffs of Vormir. But the MCU has since demonstrated that alternate timelines, variants, and parallel universes can completely change what audiences once considered impossible. In a franchise built around infinite realities and cosmic resets, the question may no longer be whether a character can return, but which version of that character could step through the door next.
Speaking of Renaissance and coming full circle, I've become surprisingly open-minded to the idea.
This film feels very much like it's alive and fresh.
Naturally, the possibility of such a major casting development has sent shockwaves through Hollywood circles, with online speculation even suggesting that franchise stars such as Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively could be caught off guard by Marvel's rumored plans to reshape the multiverse. But to understand how a return like this could happen without completely destroying the narrative rules established over the years, we have to revisit the mechanics of Avengers: Endgame and the loopholes Marvel has already established. When Natasha Romanoff sacrificed herself on Vormir so Clint Barton could obtain the Soul Stone, the moment was presented as a permanent exchange, with one life required for the cosmic artifact. Yet Marvel had already demonstrated that death could become more complicated through alternate timelines. Gamora suffered a similar fate on Vormir, but Avengers: Endgame introduced a 2014 version of Gamora who traveled into the future alongside Thanos and his army. That variant had never experienced the relationships, memories, or emotional growth of the Gamora audiences had come to know, essentially creating a completely different version of the character. That precedent is precisely why fans believe Marvel could potentially use a similar storytelling device for Natasha Romanoff. Rather than reversing her sacrifice or erasing its emotional significance, the studio could introduce a Natasha variant from another timeline or entirely different universe. And with Robert Downey Jr. potentially returning to the franchise as Dr. Doom rather than Tony Stark, the multiverse could be heading into unprecedented territory. If Doom's arrival triggers a catastrophic collision between realities, countless timelines, alternate universes, and forgotten versions of familiar characters could suddenly be pulled into the same conflict. That would create the perfect narrative environment for Marvel to reintroduce legacy heroes without technically undoing the endings audiences already witnessed. In a multiverse this unstable, Natasha Romanoff's return would no longer seem impossible. It would simply become another consequence of realities beginning to collapse into one another. Think about the sheer logistical madness Marvel is assembling for these massive Phase 6 event films, where characters from the Fox X-Men universe, Sony's Spider-Man iterations, the newly introduced Fantastic Four, and surviving Avengers could all potentially share the same screen. Within that kind of multiversal chaos, encountering a Natasha Romanoff variant from a reality where history unfolded completely differently stops sounding like impossible science fiction and starts sounding like classic Marvel storytelling. Unconfirmed reports and alleged script leaks circulating online suggest that this potential version of Black Widow might not be the exact Natasha who died on Vormir, but instead a fierce variant from a universe devastated by incursions. It could be a grim reality where the Avengers were defeated, or perhaps a world where Natasha never had to make the ultimate sacrifice at all. This approach would allow Marvel to preserve the significance of the original Soul Stone sacrifice while still delivering the emotional impact and star power of seeing Scarlett Johansson potentially return in the iconic Black Widow suit. Naturally, whenever rumors about major multiversal developments or alleged concept art begin circulating among Hollywood insiders, they can generate enormous excitement across the superhero community. Some online speculation has even suggested that prominent franchise stars such as Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively could be surprised by the sheer scale of Marvel's reunion strategy, especially after Deadpool helped push fourth-wall-breaking multiverse storytelling into the mainstream. But the biggest question remains: how can Marvel bring back beloved characters without making their previous sacrifices feel meaningless? If every death can simply be bypassed by traveling to another universe or pulling a variant from a different point in history, then the emotional stakes of earlier films could quickly lose their power. That is the delicate line Marvel now has to walk, giving fans the impossible reunions they desperately want while making sure the original stories still matter. So, do those dramatic sacrifices lose their impact if Marvel can simply introduce alternate versions of the characters who died? That is precisely why industry analysts believe the studio has to tread carefully, using concepts established in projects like Loki and Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness to emphasize that variants are not simply copies, they are individuals shaped by completely different experiences and choices. If a variant of Natasha Romanoff enters the story, she would not necessarily share the same history with Clint Barton, Bruce Banner, or Steve Rogers, creating an immediate emotional conflict as the surviving heroes come face to face with someone who looks like the teammate and sister they lost, but who may not actually be the same person. That could transform what might otherwise feel like a simple nostalgia play into a powerful psychological challenge for the original Avengers, especially as they confront the existential threat posed by Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. As production rumors continue circulating and Marvel keeps its plans tightly guarded, anticipation surrounding these upcoming ensemble films has reached another level. Fans are examining promotional footage frame by frame, searching for hidden Easter eggs, background appearances, mysterious dialogue, and subtle clues that could potentially reveal whether these casting rumors have any truth behind them. Whether Scarlett Johansson ultimately returns as a Natasha variant from the past, a battle-hardened soldier from the future, or a survivor from a completely collapsed reality, the possibility alone has reignited interest in the foundational heroes who helped build the MCU. Of course, nothing is confirmed until Marvel officially announces it, but the speculation continues to grow. And if the multiverse really is about to reach its breaking point, one thing seems increasingly clear: the rules surrounding life, death, identity, and reality could be rewritten in ways audiences have never seen before.